Hello everybody, welcome to Manifesting with me, Lee, where I get to share my manifestation tips with you to help you manifest your desires. And guys, it's been a while. It's good to be back. I was recuperating. I was sorting out my life. There was quite a couple of things that were happening in my life, and they needed my attention. I was so overwhelmed with so much work and so many things, but it's not bad things. It's stuff that I've always wanted, you know, focusing on business, focusing on work, and just meeting deadlines. And I really didn't have time in the day to record. I would want to record videos, but I just didn't have the time. So I needed to take care of myself, and I felt like I was just like gonna shut down if I'm like gonna do 100 things at the same time. So it was so important for me to, you know, step back a bit and just come back to myself and let my creative juices flow again, and just be in the right frame of mind to be able to speak into people's lives. So I take this very seriously because yes, it's my own experience that I'm sharing out of my own choice, but at the same time I have to be in the right space or the right frame of mind to be able to give from an abundant heart. I don't like doing things out of from a place of depression and stress and whatnot. I feel like I'm not giving my best, you know. I'm accepted either way, but at the same time, it's about the quality of work that I want to do. So I'm just feeling better now, and I'm feeling like I'm ready to come back. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about today, or the topic that we will be focusing on today, is reasons why you might not have your manifestation yet, you know. So this journey of us, I mean, manifesting can be quite challenging, as I always say sometimes, and but there really is only one formula to get what you want, and to make sure that you get the desired outcome at the end of the day. And there are also some things that we may be doing still, habits we may be holding on to, mental habits that we may be holding on to, verbal habits that we may still be clinging on to, that we are not letting go of, that are affecting our manifestation negatively. It's not to say that you will never manifest, but then if you keep dwelling in a particular state other than desired state, then eventually you will not, what you want will not show up, but rather what you are focusing on is what is going to definitely manifest. Because our circumstances, our desires are as pushed out, you know. It doesn't matter what you are you know, affirming for. It doesn't matter what you want. It can be a person, it can be a job, it can be money, it can be a friendship, it can be whatever it is that you want. Everything that we want, our desires, reflect the energy that we give out to them, reflect the energy, you know, also reflect the relationships that we have with ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, where we are with ourselves, with in relation to our desires. Because at the end of the day, if I don't feel good enough to have my desires, not to say that it sounds like it's a prerequisite, but it's not like you can't have what you want if you have a low self-concept, for instance, which is like the first you know, reason why people might not have the desires are not showing up, right? Why you still feel like I've been affirming, but I still don't see what I want. For some people, their self-concept is so bad, it's down there in the gutter, for whatever reasons, guys, because we all go through stuff that have affected how we feel about ourselves in relation to the things that we want, that affect the way whether we feel we deserve what we want, what we desire. There are so many things that can affect us and that can make us feel low about ourselves. Some of us, you might have some people, sorry, including myself, I grew up, like I said, you know, since I was a kid, not really feeling good about myself, not having a very good relationship with myself, not feeling like I was pretty enough, or whatever the case may be, because that's what people used to say. You know, they might have not said the direct words that you are ugly, but as young as I was, 6 years old, I was able to grasp and I would understand what if all my cousins are there and you are saying that, why don't I look like my mother, and whatnot, and my mother is considered to be beautiful, and then you ask a kid why don't they look like their mother, you know? So you grow up thinking you are not beautiful, you know. Didn't stop me from getting into relationships. I got into relationships, but then I always didn't feel pretty, and so that created an insecurity around other women. So whenever other women now grown up still, I would get threatened or intimidated by other people's beauty, and not realizing that I'm also beautiful, right? So I grew up believing that, and it took quite a while. I was just threatened by everything. I had the lowest self-esteem in my relationships, and I gave that burden to my partners. Whoever was my boyfriend at the time, they had the burden of making me feel beautiful, and that was not their job. My job, outside validation, has never ever mattered. You and the relationship that you have with yourself is what matters. So I had to take the responsibility of making myself feel that way, and starting that relationship. And it wasn't up until I started this journey of the law of assumption, which is like two and a half years ago, and then I realized the importance of self-concept. And I didn't really like this part of the self-concept because it really helped. Like, I had to deal, it brought up demons that I didn't want to deal with, like everything to the surface, and I felt like I was wasting time because all I wanted was to focus on manifesting my SP. I know what it's like to have a boyfriend, but I also know what it's like to have a boyfriend and not feel good about yourself, and having that negative self concept affect the relationship in a negative way. At the end of the day, attracting those fears of mine would actually manifest in my relationships in the form of whether, you know, you start seeing evidence of your partner with other people or other women giving your partner attention, and then the insecurities would grow bigger and bigger. Accusations about cheating started to come about, and I was like, you know what, I couldn't survive in my relationships, and every single relationship that I took on, it just got worse. So my self-concept, you know, it being low or it being negative led to the demises of my relationships. Like, literally, my relationships crumbled because people got tired of trying to make me feel good about myself, right? So I just didn't enjoy my relationships. I would have them. I've always been lucky enough to have relationships, and they would last for some time, but I wasn't happy. Soon enough, I'd be miserable because I felt the need to control another human being because of my fears. So I didn't enjoy that. So low self-concept can also be one of the reasons why some of you might have a delayed manifestation of your desire, right, into the 3D, because maybe deep down in your heart you want this, but at the same time you feel like you don't deserve this love, you don't deserve having this particular person, and that leads us to putting people on a pedestal. So when we have a low self-concept, it's easy for us to just wait to be chosen by your SP. Wait to be chosen by desire, you know, because you don't feel like you're worthy enough to just have it just because you said it. You don't trust that you just uttering those words is enough for you to get what you want. So you're waiting on outside validation to just say, yes, you are chosen. Yes, you are my girlfriend. Yes, you are my boyfriend. Yes, you are the one I want. You don't give that to yourself. That's what having a low self-concept does, because you're out here feeling like you would only feel good if you someone, your SP, you know, stepped up into the 3D. And unfortunately, in the law of assumption journey, you really have to give yourself what you want to experience first. You first have to be familiar with the feeling of having what you already want, or embodying that state of having what you want. So sometimes it is a bit tricky, but it takes a lot of practice at the end of the day, right? So a low self-concept can be one of the reasons why you might not have your manifestation. Another reason is having this doubt, right? Doubt is the ultimate enemy of manifesting your desire. It's just stopping you in between you and getting what you want. You know, I always say I am a Christian, so I go by the word, and a lot of what comes out of the word of God really does help in this case, because it's like, he will not do anything with you having doubt. You know, God does not entertain doubt. Much like it's a journey of faith, he requires faith, right? Your faith. You have to believe fully that something is yours, and then you will receive it. That's how it goes with God. It's like, I want you to believe you already have it. When you say, you must already thank me for what you believe I can do for you, and then you will see the manifestation thereof. So in the kingdom of of God and in the kingdom of faith, we really have to believe before we can see. This law of manifesting journey is nothing short of a journey of faith. It is a community of you believing so much, that you're already seeing yourself as having that. So the only job that you have left to do is to say thank you. Thank you for a wonderful relationship with my SP. What do you believe that you have? Or what is it that is on your goal when it comes to manifesting? Start thanking for it. Start being grateful for it. Start getting into the gratitude mode regarding that. Start acting as if you already have it. How does somebody act as if they already have it, through their words? You start thanking. You wake up every single day like, oh, I'm so God, thank you so much for the job that I have. Whatever your faith is, you thank the universe or whatever you may have faith in. I'm not forcing anyone to believe in my God. We all have our own beliefs. So, but if you believe you already have something, you thank. You are thankful for it. I'm so thankful that I have a job. I'm so thankful that I have life. I'm so thankful that I can get up and do what I gotta do. I'm so thankful for good health. I'm so thankful for the wonderful relationships that are in my life. You are grateful, and that gratitude, I doubt you are attached to the gratitude. You say it in that moment, you feel it, and then you know that I have these things. The gratitude comes from the feeling of knowing and believing that you already have these things within you. So then you just go about your day. After thanking, there's still life to go on. You still have to get up and do whatever it is that you got to do. So doubt is the only thing that's holding you back. And what does doubt look like? Doubt can look like something being hot and cold about maybe, let's say, your affirmations. Let's say you use your affirmations a lot, right? So you affirm every single day. And maybe the part that you affirm for, it's the part of the day that you affirm is in the morning. So when you are affirming in the morning, but then immediately after you're done with your affirmation, so 10 minutes of your day, you dedicate it to affirming for your desire or your SP or whatever it is that you want. I'm so grateful I have a job if you are manifesting for a job. I'm so grateful I have my SP if you're manifesting for an SP. But then when something comes up, like after you are done with the meditation and then you go into conversations with people and then you're watching TV or you're doing whatever and you are by yourself, it can be inner conversations with yourself or conversations with other people. And then when the topic of what you're manifesting for comes up, maybe people are talking about money and you're manifesting for money. And then people are talking about how expensive things are, how hard it is, how much money is scarce. And then you are out there agreeing with them. After you have affirmed in the morning that you always have money, it so feels so good to have money. I'm so grateful for all the money that I have. I'm so grateful I can afford anything that I want, regardless of the circumstances in the world. But then when people are out there talking about how difficult money is, and then you add on to that, you're like, it is tough. It means that you are not there yet. You're not in agreement. You're not in alignment with what you want. So your subconscious is going to be like, okay, which means deep down, you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, so you can't get anything. A person who is undecided, they cannot get anything, right? Because this law works with faith. Faith in what you believe. You either are in or you are out. You are either positive or negative. But if you are in between, you're not going to see anything other than confusing, short-lived successes. And then it's back to the square one again. You only feel good after you affirm. You only feel good during the affirmations. But immediately after you stop with the affirmation, you back to the state of feeling like you don't have what you want. You still back to being aware of the absence of your desire. That's one of the things, again, that can also delay or cause you not seeing your manifestation. So you gotta be aware. And relying, number 3 or 4, relying on, the 3D for signs that your manifestation is coming. That one, you will be a slave to your senses, as Neville Goddard says, that if you are relying on your senses, on the outside circumstances, or how you feel, or what you see, what you don't see, you will forever be a slave to that. If you are completely yielded in this journey, if you are really completely yielded to this process and you are surrendered to the process, time is not a factor. Circumstances outside of you in the 3D, undesirable circumstances that you see in the 3D, they do not factor. You see them, but they do nothing to you. You see them, but you give them a different meaning. You see them, but you're like, oh, I can't believe that, I'm so glad that that's playing out because that was my old story. You just give it a meaning that does not identify with what you want. That's what you used to be, and you are glad it's playing out. Or you can call it the last kicks of a dying horse. You can assign it any meaning that doesn't affect your manifestation negatively. So at the end of the day, we really have to be disciplined. This journey is about discipline, because the formula is one really, or two things. You have to be persistent. There's no shortcut. And if you see that you are not seeing results, be honest with yourself. And that's really going to help you. Be very, very honest with yourself. Have you been fully being disciplined? Doesn't mean that you're not going to get a thought or so that is, opposite or what you want. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get thoughts. You are probably, but what do you do about them? Do you allow them to make you feel bad and then you dwell in self-pity? If you believe you're the operant power, you don't dwell in self-pity. You don't do that. Because you know that, oh, right, I just got a negative thought, because you're always aware of your mental activity. That's the job that you have, the tasks that you have as an intentional manifestor, is that your job is to be aware of what's going on in here and to go against everything that is opposite what you want. Crush it. Don't yield to it. Don't even give it a second thought. Well, your SP is out there showing off with their so-called girlfriend or whatever the case may be. Stay out of it. It's got nothing to do with you. Don't allow what you see on the outside to affect you so much that you start doubting yourself and you start doubting your power. Being in alignment, being in full faith, fully surrendering to the process, and having a good self-concept is going to help you to bring your manifestation forth sooner than later. And regardless of the time frame, if you are decided that no matter what happens, I am not giving up, this is my lifestyle, this is my way of living. Because even after you have manifested your SP, this is still your way of living. Just because you manifested your SP doesn't mean you have to stop now. This is a lifestyle, a lifetime commitment. This is the way that you're going to think, because why would you want to stop thinking this way? Why would you want to stop thinking that in a way that is favorable for your desire, for your career, for your relationships, for your finances? Why would you want to stop doing something that's working, that's clearly bringing in results? And whether the results are in the 3D, you just know that the results are coming. It's about knowing. It's about knowing. Rest comes from knowing. Peace comes from knowing. Knowing that it's already done. And if your mind is struggling to get into the knowing, it is your responsibility to make sure that it gets to that point. Our only responsibility is to make sure that we are disciplined and disciplining our mental activity, making sure that we only focus on the things that we want, regardless of how unpleasant some of the things we may see are. And the more you see something unpleasant is the more you persist. And look at the 3D as a sign telling you where to focus, telling you to press on. If you see your SP with a third party, you must then say, you know what? I'm the only woman I'm the only person in my SP's life, and that's it. You go with the opposite of what you see, that you feel is unpleasant. Otherwise, without discipline, you'll forever be a victim of circumstances. Life will forever continue happening to you. You will always be waiting on someone to choose you instead of using your own mental power to bring what you want towards you. You will always be looking and giving your SP or your desire a responsibility to choose you. And therefore you are giving away your power. And if they choose to not use that power, then it's you, because you gave it away, and by starting to feel powerless, by starting to tell yourself that this thing doesn't work, by starting to feel discouraged just because you were doing 3 or 4 weeks or 1 year of manifesting. Sometimes things take long for us, and it may feel like it's taking long because maybe we really are. There are a lot of things that the subconscious has to work through to get you what you want. It's different for other people. Some people have a lot of resistance. Some people don't have a lot of resistance. It's easy for them to just get into the believing phase and then it's done for them. So it's different for other people. And that is why don't allow yourself to compare your journeys to other people. Success stories are there to inspire others, not to make you feel like you are a loser, not to make you feel like you're not making progress. Don't look at it that way, because sometimes I'm like, oh, success stories there, and then other people are going to feel encouraged. Other people with success stories are going to start to feel like, oh, but I was doing the same thing and it didn't happen to me. Don't think it's not going to happen to you. We are different, and things come at different moments in our lives. We receive things at different moments of our lives. We may be doing the same thing, but the outcomes, we are going to experience the outcomes at different times. So you have to really get to that point of being at peace with yourself to say, you know what, regardless of what's happening, I know I'm going to believe and have blind faith, childlike faith in this journey without any other focus on anything else other than what I want. And then you will see that eventually you'll get what you want. All right, guys, so that's all that I have for you regarding why you may not be seeing your manifestation. Let go of the resistance, let go of all these things, and then focus only on what you want. Be disciplined, persist, repeat the process up until you see it, and yield to the process. Okay, thank you so much for lending me your ears. I hope this helped you. Don't forget, there's still mentoring sessions available if you feel like you need somebody to hold your hand through this process, to assist you. I'm here for you. All you have to do is just drop me an email and look at the information in the description box below for prices and so forth. Can't wait to hear from you, and good luck, and I'll see you on the other side of consistency. Bye-bye.